everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Hugo's bitch for the next 30 to 40 minutes.
And this is Ask Hugo number 37. Wow, it's been a while since we've done this. I think we've not had a consistent schedule for 2 weeks because of the holidays, and then I was ill.
Oh man, I'm glad you were ill though, because we actually had like a vacation.
I know, that's the first time in a whole year we've had time off, so that's nice. So
yeah, since last Christmas, when we had a week off.
Yeah, so
a lot of people are like, why are they bitching? They have the cushiest job in the world. You'd be surprised how easy it is to be very burnt out about this.
Yeah. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and answer some of your burning questions from the last episode, which we talked about Pizzagate, so those comments were hard to judge through. So,
what's a burning question like?
It's like a question that you should probably go get checked out at the doctor. It's not supposed to burn.
Free Gin asks Hugo, holy shit! Hugo looks like Al Borland from Tool Time now. Is that because of the facial hair? Is that because of the newfound facial hair?
I think it's because of the fat and the facial hair. Yes.
You're not that fat. Everyone in the comments was like, wow, you are actually underwhelmingly not as fat as I would like to have imagined you as. Because you always wear like a sweatshirt.
It's because my face is definitely the fattest part of me. My body's pretty up there.
Your face isn't fat though. You just have a big face.
It's a fat face.
Your dad has the same face.
Anyway, speaking of which, this is in the comments I want to hear. My goal this year, my New Year's resolution, is to lose at least 40 pounds by the end of the year, which I have done before. Last year I did it in like 6 months or so, but then I gained it all back before we started face cams because I'm a piece of shit. So
wait, you lost it in 6 months and gained it back in 6 months.
Yes, basically.
So you can just do the Oprah thing from now on. It's fine. She's a billionaire. She's very successful.
But here's what I need. I need to make sure I stick to it. This is what happened last time I didn't.
Oh.
So if I fail to do this within a year, what is my punishment?
Oh God, your punishment is you have to buy a big box of Hot Pockets and you have to go all in on the fat Hugo and eat all the Hot Pockets from the thing. We'll sit here until it's done.
I'll get a box of the 12 Hot Pockets, and I will sit in front of a camera in real time and eat 12 Hot Pockets.
Yep, live. And if you do it, what's your reward?
I don't know. What is my reward if I do it? Not looking like this.
Down in the comments, no, there's got to be a reward for Hugo. Down in the comments, let's figure out what the reward for Hugo is. And it can't be anything that violates terms of service on YouTube.
Sure, sounds good.
No blowjobs.
Aw. Receiving or giving?
Any of them. You can't do them. You just can't. No blowjobs.
Okay.
Start or finish. Tim Huber asks Hugo, I love the show, but Hugo's facial pubes look bad, and he's already playing against a stacked deck in the looks department. Why is that so funny to me?
I know.
A stacked deck. Because it implies that God's like, oh, this fucker. Nope.
I'm so mixed on these comments on the beard. I was only going to do it for 2 months, but some people said it was good, but some people are saying it's bad.
I'd say 80% of the comments about your beard are positive, and I agree with them. It just makes your face look better.
I need a verdict. I need a verdict.
No. The verdict is in. It's beard time for Hugo. Like, you can trim it, but you got to keep at least... Not a 5 o'clock. You got to keep at least an 8 o'clock shadow forever now. At least. You'll find, like, if I trim and I trim too short, my face gets real babyish because I didn't do any hard drugs in high school. So it's just like I'm so smooth. All I have is laugh lines because I'm fucking the least stressed person anyone's ever met.
Are a lot of people doing hard drugs in high school? Or are they shooting heroin in the bathroom?
Dude, I had 3 ODs the year we graduated.
Oh, well, you grew up... Your school was like that...
Right down the road?
Was that kind of place, though, so I get it.
No, the school down the road was even worse. The littler one with the vandals.
As much as there's nothing to do where I went to school, there's even less to do around you. There's like barns.
That's okay.
Cows.
Every time there was a fight between our 2 schools, we won, so it's good.
Okay. It's probably because they were all on meth. But like,
there's a lot of meth.
Yeah.
Anyway, good. Romulus Numa asks Hugo, question for Hugo: if you could fix your teeth, would you?
I didn't notice until just now. This is the Let's Shit on Hugo's Looks episode.
Right? You
Whoops.
picked these. I didn't
did.
pick these.
But there's the thing. There weren't that many questions in the last episode. These were genuinely the best questions I could find. So apparently
You guys can do better than this.
I was
You can
looking
do better than this.
real rough in the last episode. So this was on people's mind.
Were you really looking bad in that episode? I didn't really
this
look
is
at
what
it
was
much.
on people's minds. So I guess so. But yes, of course,
Oh,
I'd
fuck.
fix. If I could fix my teeth, of course I would. This is not do they think I'm like stubbornly like? No, I want to look like someone kicked me in the mouth. No, it's
fine. It's kind of part of your thing, though. If you put a tooth there, I wouldn't recognize you at first glance.
corrective
would
dentistry
change everything.
is just expensive in
It's
America.
very expensive. Well, especially
So-
since you don't actually have a spot for the tooth there.
Right, because
It's like a faux spot.
it's too small. You'd be surprised. So basically, I would need either Invisalign or braces, adult braces. Which, oh my god, especially doing this for a living, that's a good look.
No adult braces. No, let's just knock the other ones out and even it out.
They'd have to expand that space, fix the gap here. There's a gap here. This one's got a cap on it because it's it's the opposite of this one, and because this one genetically didn't come in, this one's like a midget tooth, so they had to. It's very tiny, so they had to cap it.
Tooth. You could have been buck-toothed though. That would have been great.
Yeah, imagine as bad as it is now. Imagine it, but with two spaces, like just
It's not. I get compliments on my teeth because of you, but they're not that great. Like I'm missing a molar down here from I was playing football and fell on my face and it cracked in half. Back here it cracked in a car accident, my wisdom tooth. And up here I have one that's cracked a little bit it's like chipped on the front because of the same car accident. So like mine's not, and I have one weird one right here. It gets all weird.
maybe if we get not rich, if we get middle class doing this, maybe.
Oh, we're so close.
We're so close. Maybe
every year we're knocking on the door and they're like, "No, fucking peasant," and they kick us down, and then we continue to eat pizza and do YouTube.
Yeah. So maybe if I get to that point, I'll invest in some corrective dentistry.
People think that YouTubers are like all ballin'.
Nope.
Just doing okay.
Just enough to waste money on life-size replicas of Iron Man and Power Rangers helmets.
I thought your girlfriend got that for you.
Nope.
Oh, Christmas present to yourself. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. All right. That's sadder than it should be. Robbie Carr asks Hugo, "Dear Hugo, how do I come out as a Christian to my atheist parents?" Because of this show, and it ruins my... No, I said, how do I come?
Oh, okay.
That was the first thing I fucking said in my head. Like, why is he asking how to come? Just do it. Never mind. Go.
This is one of the most interesting questions I've ever gotten on Ask Hugo. I'm not kidding, because we always get the how do I come out as an atheist to my religious parents. Never have we gotten this. And you might think, oh, is this person just being facetious? Are they just saying the opposite of what it normally is? No, there's further comments after that lead me to believe that they're being genuine.
Either way, this might be something that you have to do.
Right, totally. What an interesting question. I've never really thought about this before. Now, despite the fact that I disagree with you on the correctness of Christianity, let's set that aside because you can watch the rest of the channel for that. Just on this, I think you could probably just be honest with them. You could say... Sit them down and say, hey, and if this is important to you, sit them down and say, hey, I know you don't believe this, but I just wanted to let you know that this is what I believe and here are the reasons. And hopefully, being that they're not dogmatic, I mean, maybe they are, I don't know them. I'm not going to pretend that atheists simply
Is your dad TJ?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm not... Well, see, the thing is, even TJ
would be fine with that.
If he had a kid who was religious, he would be like, you dumbass, but he wouldn't
Right, no, he'd be fine.
I'm not going to pretend atheists are immune from being dogmatic assholes about what they believe, because obviously that...
I feel more confident telling you to sit down and talk with them than I do about the opposite situation.
I am very confident they're not going to be like, fuck you, and kick you out or anything. I mean, have a dialogue about it, have a discussion, and maybe they'll make points that maybe make you rethink your thing, or maybe you'll make points that make them rethink their beliefs. I doubt it either way necessarily, but we'll see. I don't know. Good luck. Very interesting question. I know that there are people who have become Christians. Obviously, that's a huge thing. I'm curious as to when you say come out as a Christian, obviously your parents are atheist. I'm curious how your opinions of religion led you to this. If you're in the
and how
comments
you're
and you see
here.
this. Right. Because
asking this question. So if you are for real, I want to know more information about this, so comment below.
right, I'm very curious because obviously this happens sometimes, and I'm always interested in the stories. I would guess because there are on Reddit, for instance, there's Debate an Atheist, Debate a Christian. I'm subscribed to Our Christianity because I find it interesting. And there are stories of people who are like, oh yeah, I used to be an atheist and now I'm a Christian. And the main theme I always see in those stories is basically, well, I just, there's more than I understand, so maybe it's that. I never seen a reason that was convincing to me. It's always what you would think it is. It's, oh, I don't know.
That's general theism, though, and not Christianity.
Right.
Just for your information.
So,
if you think there must be more, then that doesn't mean Christianity. That could mean any of them.
Right. So I'm curious. Please let us know, and if you give us like a little write-up or whatever, I'll read it in its entirety in the next Ask Hugo, just because I'm interested in it. So, not that you have to. Like, if you don't feel like it, don't do it. I'm not your fucking mom.
Do it, you pussy. Now you're getting the nice guy routine from Hugo and peer pressure from me.
Yeah. So good luck with that. It should be fine, unless your parents are assholes, which they might be. I don't know.
If they are, let us know, and we won't let that ride. Josh Potts, have you guys ever discussed Scientology? I know it's TBR, but Scientology is hilarious. Briefly, do they have cartoons?
No, because they're newer, relatively speaking. They might have some sort of online thing we could do or whatever, but we've never really talked about Scientology at length, but it is something I would love to do. I think like Dianetics Reloaded would be really fun to do someday down the line when we run out of like this and Mormonism and Islam and stuff. But the thing about talking about Scientology, the funny thing is, out of all the religions we've ever tackled, I think they're the ones to most likely try and stop us. Because that's how they are. You know what I mean? They're very litigious.
And we do the Quran.
Right. The Church of Scientology has a reputation for trying to shut down criticism, especially comprehensive criticism, one way or another. For instance, actually, this was an interesting story when Matt and Trey Parker did their episode on Scientology. They're the guys behind South Park, if you don't know. The Church of Scientology tried to snoop into their lives and find dirt to see if like they were cheating on their wives or girlfriends or whatever, if they're into some weird shit. You know what I mean? Trying to find something to see if they could blackmail them into not doing it or pulling it or whatever, and they didn't find anything because of course those two would be the clean ones. But I don't know, they're kind of fucked up and they do lots of lawsuits and stuff, but I don't know.
Fuck them.
I don't care. We'll probably do it eventually.
Oh, for sure.
Out of all the religions, see, I don't even like using the word religion with Scientology because there is different connotations between the words religion and cult. And Scientology, between the two extremes, falls much closer to cult. So, I don't know. Because at the end of the day, here's how I would compare Scientology to a different religion. I believe the Pope believes what he's saying. I don't believe the guy in charge of Scientology currently believes what he's saying, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Especially since Hubbard literally said, hey, I'm going to start a religion.
Yeah. So
I'm going to write a book about it. Like, he was a science fiction writer. Come on.
Yeah. They do have Tom Cruise, though. So
not Katie Holmes anymore, though. Her and Siri got out. Maus? Dear Jake. Ooh, got one. I am an atheist sophomore in high school with aspirations to become a teacher. Do you have any advice to me or any other aspiring secular teacher? Also, do you have any anecdotes about your teaching experience that are particularly interesting? I'll take this one, Hugo.
Okay, go for it.
As far as the tips for secular people, teaching is secular. They teach you to be secular, so it's not an issue whatsoever. It's actually an issue if you're not. You can't do that at all. Like God's Not Dead 2 was very incorrect on how they portrayed any of that. But it is true that you can't do that shit. Now, she wouldn't have gone to fucking the Supreme Court or wherever she went. But you can't profess, because you're in a state of authority over children, you can't profess a belief system. You also can't do it with like, communism is the best or capitalism is the best. You can't even do that. Now, some people break the rule on that sort of thing, but especially in the 80s. But it's fine. You'll be fine, especially just secularly. You're good. They take care of that. As far as the anecdotes, anecdotes about teaching. Yeah. So we were sitting in class, and I was to the point where I could just be in charge of the classroom, and then the teacher would leave. And he's a good guy. He was the football coach when I was in high school, actually. And I got him as my student teacher. I was pretty excited about that. And then, I forget what they call that. I shadowed him. Don't worry about it. And so we're in class, and I'm teaching history, and I'm teaching the French Revolution to these kids, which is a thing that I was pretty good at the time. And there's this kid up front who couldn't read well, and we did that read out loud bullshit. So I tried not to pick him, but he raised his hand, and I was like, all right, fuck it. You can read. Go for it. And this kid in the back, whose name I forget, I wouldn't say it anyway, but I seriously forget his name. But he always wore pink polos, and he was a douchebag. So he's in the back, and then the kid had been pretty challenged as far as literacy was concerned anyways. The school I taught at was the school I went to. Poor area, so some of the kids just didn't get a lot of education. And I had offered to help this kid actually on my own time, which I didn't have to do, but I felt bad for the fuck, but he denied it. Anyway, so the douchebag of the pink polo starts making fun of the kid. And I'm like, all right, you gotta stop that. And he basically said, kind of like when kids go, "You're not my real dad." He said, "You're not, the teacher. You can't tell me what to do." And I was like, okay, stop being a douchebag and walk up front, and you read aloud for the rest of the chapter to everyone. And every time you fuck up, I didn't say fuck. We're going to make fun of you. And so I did that, and that was probably not cool, but I couldn't get fired, so fuck him. Nah, he was always riding on that kid, though, man. I was there for months. He was always giving that kid shit. And that kid, while he probably deserved some of it, did not deserve all of it. And so, yeah, I put him up front. And he started reading, and he's a good reader anyway. It was fine. But he fucked up a couple times, and I said, all right, everybody point and laugh. And so we all had fun, and the kid didn't get butthurt about it. Although he was a little upset that I called him a douchebag in front of everybody, because I think he had a crush on one of the girls in class. But
well, then he shouldn't be such a douchebag.
Right, he shouldn't be such a douchebag. Now, if you're teaching, don't actually do that. I think you can get in trouble for singling out the kid. But I passed that class and was fine. I got my accreditation. It was good. That is my anecdote.
I wonder if that kid ever looked back on that, because that was a couple years ago now, right? I wonder if he ever looked back and went, yeah, that was justified. I was kind of a fucking cunt. I wonder if he even...
Probably.
That's got to be a story he tells, in 10 years. Man, one time I was being a total asshole, and the teacher made me, yeah. See, this is... this makes me almost wish this YouTube thing doesn't work out, because I think you'd make an excellent fucking teacher.
I was pretty good at it. I got a lot of really good notes on it. Said I was a natural at it and whatever, but can't swear there, and you got to wear pants, so it's a no-go for me.
That's fair. Yeah. I guess you're all our students, and we'll all
yeah.
You're all douchebags in the comments, so we'll make you come over here and read.
I have no problem calling any of you out. There's people on Twitter sometimes that get into arguments with me, and I'll disagree with them because they're fucking just wrong about things.
Sure.
And they'll go I've been a fan since, the other day, a guy went, I'm been a fan since Deuteronomy. I can't believe you talk to me like this. As if that gives you some sort of fucking social currency with me. Yeah. I don't care. I'm very grateful for everyone that watches every episode. I'm really happy about that. It's fantastic. This is a dream job. But fuck you if you think that gives you anything in regards to our personal relationship. Come on. iBoz75. This question.
Did you see this when it popped up?
So do you guys really believe that Michael Jackson was a pedophile, or do you just say that for the jokes because it's not funny and quite offensive? You know what else is offensive? Fucking kids.
Okay. So we got this. I don't remember what episode this is even from. This, I usually grab Ask Hugo questions right before. I'm like, okay, let me go through and find the question. This one, I saw the day it was posted, whatever video it was on. I was like, yep, grabbing that.
It was the one where I made the glove joke. It was for grip.
Yeah, sure. You were like, oh, the glove he wore was for grabbing people by the crotch, whatever. Okay. So regardless of whether or not you think Michael Jackson actually did touch kids.
I do.
Macaulay
Culkin will not talk about it to this day. He just won't talk about it. He doesn't deny it. He refuses to speak on the subject.
And, I can see the other side of the argument. I've heard people say, oh, they were just in it for the money, suing him, blah, 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 blah.
Maybe.
And he was just a weirdo because of his upbringing with,
Also, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not saying I 100%. I wasn't in the room when people were or were not touched. I don't know. But honestly, out of all the people in the world, if I put Michael Jackson, Mr. Rogers, I don't know.
Cosby. Jared from Subway.
No, the point is
another touch guy. I don't know. The Duggar, Josh Duggar.
Sure. But
put them in a lineup. I'm picking Jackson.
Right, and most of the I feel bad that I put Mr. Rogers in. My intention was to put a lot of innocent people and then Michael Jackson. But okay, Rogers is in there, I guess.
Mr. Rogers is one of my favorite people of all time, by the way.
Sure. But the point is, the dude was not a normal person. And there's nothing wrong with being eccentric. There's nothing wrong with being a weird guy. But when you build an amusement park in your house and you invite children to stay the night, aren't you sort of inviting that kind of accusation a little bit? And
by the way, he didn't, deny any of the other shit. He, literally said, I have a big bed so all the kids can come cuddle with me. That's super weird and inappropriate, and I don't care if he had permission.
Right. And there are people who said, oh, he didn't really have a childhood, so he's reliving his childhood. Okay, I'm sorry you didn't have a childhood, but you don't get to cuddle kids because of it that aren't yours. It's oh. Man,
I'm just saying, if you're offended by that, leave, because we say worse shit all the time.
That's what got me. It's not even Michael J.
Anytime someone's offended on this channel, fuck off.
Regardless
unless you're a Christian, you're like, Jesus loves you. That makes sense. You could say that.
Regardless if you think he touched kids or not, that's part of his public persona now. That's part of his legacy, whether you like it or not. Thus the joke, right? I don't understand people, man. That person must be a die-hard Jackson fan or something.
I love his music, by the way.
I love Michael Jackson's music, but I also entertain the idea that, hey, this guy maybe touched some kids against their will. But hey, Thriller, good fucking album. So
Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is the best song.
Right. PYT, Pretty Young Thing.
Ooh, Man in the Mirror. Man in the Mirror. Or anytime it goes, go on, girl. Come on now.
That one, even one of the later ones, it was about the environment, where it was you can see it on the DVD of their movie This Is It, which was about his last tour right before he died, when they were planning for it, but he died before it happened.
No, I'm good. Yeah, good. Gonna bail out of that.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Michael Jackson may or may not have touched kids, but the joke was still kind of funny. It's not the funniest joke.
Super funny.
Why you gotta get mad about... and here's again, I know we're going on it. It just boggles my mind. If I had said, if the joke was about Mr. Rogers touching kids, I could kind of see you being well, he was a really nice guy. There's nothing about him that implies he touches kids. But
ain't nothing not touchy about that sweater. Look at that sweater. That's his kid touching sweater.
I just think if
you're has a puppet room?
I just think if you're drawing a line in the sand about pedophilia jokes, Michael Jackson is a weird place to make your stand, is all I'm saying.
Right, where else can I go from there?
Right, can I not make fun of Jared now? Because he's, for sure touched kids.
And he's convicted. He fucked kids.
Yeah.
Just because they were Filipino doesn't mean it doesn't count.
That's at least a 3/5 of a person, come on. No, I stand by it. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. We gotta offend. No, see, we gotta offend more people so we can talk about that next time. So,
all right, hey, real quick, shout out to Stephen Barnes and his mom, who they watched the show together.
Oh,
so and I played some video games with him the other day, and he was a nice dude. Oh, so, and he said that she would be very excited to hear a shout out. So, shout out, Mama Barnes, or if you have a different name, I guess, whatever your name is.
So you can always follow us on Twitter at Bible Reloaded.
You can follow Hugo Reloaded. You can also subscribe to the channel, and then do notifications, and then make sock accounts and subscribe again, and make our numbers inflate. And then I don't know anymore. We're treading water here.
No, we're
kidding.
Not.
We're doing fine.
You can always donate to our Patreon campaign. We do a once-a-month patron-only hangout, which is a lot of fun. That'll be coming soon. I don't know exactly when the date will be.
Not next week, but the week after.
Okay. And if you do donate to the Patreon, we do a Loot Crate-style monthly thing where at $5 per Wednesday episode, you get a signed chick track, $10 you get button stickers, $15 you get 3D pop paper dolls on high-quality card stock, and you get all the levels below your...
The last shipment was Harold Penisman.
Oh, was it?
Throwing that out there. Just kind of stuff that you get.
Nice.
This week, I believe, is God, but our God.
Sure. So, I guess that's it. You can always subscribe over at Unpopular Culture or The Quran Reloaded. Those are both quality channels with hosts almost as attractive as us. So, until next time, I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake.
This has been Ask Hugo number 37. Answer more in the comments. Oh no, I have to scrap the whole episode now.
If they just answer your questions for you, you're out of a job.
Bible Reloaded.